So, what do? So obviously we need to plan about how we're going to buy these things. Yeah? Get smart, do your homework. Yeah? Don't just jump in and buy anything. Look at the issues that, and it's quite easy to do. All you need to do is look at the history of the property, consult a decent letting agent that knows the market, and knows what you can achieve in terms of rental values of for that particular property. Yeah? But there are other factors to consider. Like I said, capital growth yield are the first ones really. But after that, you've got cost, you've got location, you've got the size of the property, you've got the lease term, if it's a leasehold property, that's a consideration. Target market, who you think is going to want to live in it, who's going to rent it, who's going to be your ideal avatar, for want of a better word. And also within that, there's competition. Now competition is other rented properties. There's parts of Bedford that are saturated with flats, and if all the flats are the same, the only differentiating factor is the cost. That would mean that you then got to cut your costs in, as opposed to Mr. Jones next door, one below or one above or whatever. You see, so what I've done is I've gone through some local sales that are available at the moment now, and identified some that can actually give you good balance of the factors, and obviously you'll see could potentially earn you a good return over the time. So this particular property is in Putney. Now Putney's a great place, really. It's northeast, sort of northeastern part of Bedford. It's built mainly in the sort of late 50s, early 60s. 3-bedroom, semi-detached land. It is really the best way to describe it. The thing is, as I'll show, Putney is only about 5% of the property stock in Putney is rented. Now, whenever we get a 3-bed property on the market, we always get a queue of people interested, because it's families that want to move it. Putney's great for that. You've got schools, you've got all these sort of things. So, Stancliffe Road is quite it's an owner-occupier property, 44 Stancliffe Road. Realistically, that will earn you about $1,050 per month, and that represents, at that price, 265. If you buy it for that, you rent it for that, that's the yield you'll get on it. Now, it's actually been on the market since the 18th of September, which suggests to me that they might be getting a bit itchy feet and want to shift it. So you may even get it cheaper. So, it does say guide price as well. So, thing to remember is capital growth from that property since 2012 is 88,000. So that's quite considerable. That's a 49.7% increase. So straight away you can see you've got both factors. You've got good yield, so the property will look after itself, pay for itself, and give you a little bit each month. But also in the long term, in this case 6 years down the line, you've got £88,000. Thank you very much. Charlie, what do you do with that?
Pay a lot of capital gains tax on it, or I speak to a good accountant to decide it.
Okay. Like I said, Putney is very low rented area. It's mainly only occupiers, but it's a great place for families who want to rent. And that's the real attraction to it. Like I said, popular with families. The school is excellent in the area. Generally speaking, people who rent these properties will be in there for a long term as well. You're probably looking at a 5-6 year term that they'll rent the property. Now, if you're planning to own the property for 10-15 years, you may only have 1 or 2 tenants in that term. So in terms of cost to you, there's very little turnover cost. That you have very little void period. Providing they're well looked after and look after property, they hand it back and thank you very much. So it's just a question of identifying good options. Freehold, so there's no issues with lease. Lease is a big thing with flats because you never really own it, you just borrow it. Okay, now, Clarendon Street. This is, I don't know if you know it, but this is sort of Prime Minister's, sort of north part of Bedford on the way to Clapham. So I saw this one, so it's a flat, okay, good. 2-bed, but it's got things going for it. First of all, you get about $775 a month for that. That's a good 5% yield. Capital growth on that since 2015, 55,000. Okay? So again, it's a 44% increase over that term. Okay? very strong community belt because Clarendon is walking distance to the station, so it has an attraction to people who want to get into the smoke. On a side note, there are so many people coming out of London now who want to buy in Bedford. Yeah, whenever the few sales we do, we always attract probably a good 2/3, probably half to 2/3 of the buyers that come and see us are from London, because 40 minutes on the train, it's a no-brainer. If you live in Cockfosters or something like that, and you're on the end of the Northern Line, you're facing an hour tube journey into central London. Yeah? Whereas you can live in Bedford for the property half the value and still be into London quicker than you would be if you live in Cockfosters. It's like quality of life, isn't it? Right, another unique thing, there's actually parking in this place. There's also 2 double bedrooms. Now, two bedroom flats, 2 bedroom houses, the key factor in any of them is what's the size of the second bedroom when you come to let. Yeah, because if you've got 2 doubles, it gives you far more options in terms of your target audience. It comes back to what I said about who you're going to rent to. Yeah, the wider the market you can attract, the better your options are, the better the lettability of your property is. Yeah, so consequently, you could rent to professional couples or sharers or even young families. Clarendon Street is literally walking distance from Livingston Primary School. So, anyone who wants to rent, has a small child, you've got a second bedroom, they could walk the child to school. It's a cracking option, really. So, the only issue is lease terms. So you've got how long's left on the lease, that's always a driving factor. Anything less than 85 years, you wouldn't touch it, unless you're prepared to sort of try and negotiate it once you've owned, and factor it into the offer you make. Because, very few lenders will lend, they'll start getting itchy feet below 80, won't they? Yeah. There are probably some that will do, but the options are much more limited. So obviously, leaseholders, though, you've then got other costs as well. So you've got service charges, you've got ground rent, all these sort of things add up. So it's something to consider. So. And then the final one I've looked at, Miller Court. We know this property very well, actually, because we used to let it out. The owner at the time split up with her partner and decided to move back into it, so we had to kick the tenant out. But she then sold it back in 2016. So now, Miller Court is off Elstow Road on the southern side of Bedford, has an attraction to people who drive and commute to the south. Milton Keynes, Luton, Stevenage, that sort of part of the world, or even into London, further afield. So, rental on that, $825 a month. That's a 5.2% yield. Yeah. Okay, so we sold fairly recently, but it's still 20 grand capital growth in 2 years. That's an 11% increase. It's slightly more, reasonable, but it's still got that growth that you'll get. Very much suits commuters, drivers, that sort of, those sort of people. So, Southern Bedford, like I say, again, 2 double bedrooms, got this attraction to flexibility for people that are looking. So couples, sharers, professional people, that sort of thing. But again, being a leasehold property, it's subject to, these issues. So I've just demonstrated 3 things. When you put your minds to it and you start thinking about it in a methodical way, you start looking at various issues and writing it down on a bit of paper, get a crib sheet, and tally things off against. If you're serious about investing in property, it's the way to do it. You need to get smart. You need to, really think about it and look at your options, because there are ways around it. Don't just rush out and buy anything. Emotion is not part of it. So like I said, identify prospects that give a sustainable income, and minimise your void period and offer a decent nest egg in the long run. Yeah, we can help you to identify that. That's what we do. It's one of the better parts of our job. We have to start going shopping with other people's money. So think long term. Don't think short term. If you're going to go and buy a property, don't do it for 2 years. It's not worth it. You might enjoy it. You might enjoy it. You might not. But you're not going to make any serious money out of it. You need to think about it, and if you identify the right one at the outset, it will tick along quite nicely. But we'll come on to this, well, Zoe's going to touch on this. You need to start thinking about using a proper agent, an agent who knows what he's doing and can keep on top of the day-to-day running of it, and the regulations and all the crap, so if you pardon the expression, that is now in place, you know, and puts pressure on the landlords, because you need time. If you're going to do it, it does take a lot of time. So.